Hey everybody, this is Rich and you're with South Florida Beekeeping with Rich, and we're going to continue on with the theme of it's swarm season. So I'm going to show you the two lures that I use. First I'm going to show you the lure that I've used, probably for 4 years or so now, more than that. What you need is an oversized straw, one that's good for milkshakes and such. Make a diagonal cut so that you have a big tail at one end of it here. A little piece of cotton ball, and a little bit of lemon oil. Lemongrass oil, sorry. Lemongrass oil.
How much?
Well, just enough to not saturate, but to dampen this piece of cotton. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want it sopping wet, drippy, or anything like that. You want just enough to make the whole thing a little bit moist. You don't want to be able to squeeze any out of it. Okay, there we go. You take that, you slide it in there, and the reason behind this tail up here is you just stick a push pin into that, or if you want to get fancy, you can take a little thin piece of wire and you can pierce a little thin piece of wire through that, bring it up about an inch, bend a right angle on it, and slide it down between two frames. Mostly I just slide it to the back. By having the plastic wrapping around it like that, it slows the evaporation rate of the oil. You're only getting evaporation at the top and evaporation at the bottom, and it lasts a good long time, and they're endlessly reusable, and they're easily recharged if you want to. So that, a push pin, you're good to go. If you just want to drop it at the bottom, in fact, if you say, hey, I can just cut the piece like this straight across, do the same thing and drop it in the bottom, yeah, that works too. The other thing I want to show you is what I've done it that way for many years, and this year I want to try something new. I saw this on somebody's video the other day. This is just a piece of paper towel, and this is just a snack size Ziploc bag. And basically the same thing. You just want it to be dampened without being soggy. You open up the bag, you stick the piece of paper towel in there, and you Ziploc half of it, not the other half. Okay? This can be thrown on top of the frames, which is what I did for my two swarm traps out here yesterday. This can be thrown down on the bottom, so a little more wafts out the front of the swarm trap. I guess a little bit more would do it that way. You can do like I do with those, and you can pin this to the back wall. However you want to do it.
What if you put holes in it and just Ziploc the whole thing?
Putting holes in it and Ziplocking the whole thing, well, the thing is you want to make sure that there is a certain amount of gassing off coming on from the lemon oil, but the lemongrass oil, but you don't want too much. I think if you started punching holes in it, either the holes are going to be too small to get much anything, or they might be too large. I'm not going to just say punching holes in it, and that's not something I'm going to do. I'm going to do just like was recommended, and just leave this portion open, because it's kind of, since you more than half Ziplocked it, it's kind of closing it in there. And all I did for my two swarm traps was to go in, lift the lid, and toss this on top of the frames. You can do it. You can drop it between the frames so it lands at the bottom too if you want. Do however you want to do it. Bam! That's how simple it is. You do that, and then you put a little tiny bit of lemongrass oil at the front entrance, which is a very short-term lure. But if you're hearing that your buddies are catching swarms, then you might want to get out there and get moving pretty quickly on this. So putting a little bit of lemongrass oil at the front entrance would help too. I'll probably go back out there once that bit of sludge we put on there dries, and I'll put a little bit of this at the entrance. There was no sense doing it until that dried, because it would just run off. I'd have bees on the ground going, I smell a queen here somewhere, but she wouldn't be there. All right, that's it. That's a really short video, I understand, but it's really all it takes to attach a swarm lure to something. So this has been Rich, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Be sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day, everybody.